Hello and welcome. This is Clara from Creations by Klare. In this video, I will show you how I'm painting my 5¼ inch Cherub angel for Dia de Muertos or Day of the Dead. So let's get started. First, I wash my Cherub with Dawn soap and warm water and let it dry. It is best to use detailed paint brushes. I'll have them listed in the description. My paints will be ink and moss chalk paint by Waverly, an orange acrylic paint by Folk Art, and I will be using DOS air dry clay, flower molds, E6000 glue, and Rust-Oleum clear seal spray. And as I get started on these cherubs, I like to start working on the lower body first and save the head and face for last. Just makes it easier for me. This particular angel has an iridescent type of color, so I didn't paint him all in black. And just to give you a bit of information, I will have additional videos, maybe one more, showing you how I painted another angel all entirely in black and putting this detail of Dia de los Muertos on him. So here I'm drawing in his rib cage, and that's why it's much easier to use a detail brush to draw in the bones. He's 5½ inches tall by 5 inches wide, but it's not that small, but it's still kind of small to draw in the detail. And the pelvic is such a small area, so I'm going to try to show as much, but not too much, of the iridescent color on this real pretty angel. So now I'm painting in the shoulder blades, or maybe that's the clavicle bone. I think that's what it's called, or shoulder bone. My inspiration for this angel was derived from using Pinterest, and then also pictures of the actual human skeletal body, plus a lot of creativity in between. This is not, of course, not the skeletal body system, but in some of the bones were shape of the bones in them. But of course, we don't have hearts back on I think it's a vertebra, but I thought that would be cute to put little hearts going down. And then his or her, I'm not sure if it's he or she. The pelvic bone is try to make that in the kind of in the shape of a heart also. This chalk paint was easily scrubbed off with my thumb or finger when I made a mistake. You still can scratch it off a few minutes later, an hour later. So you still have to be careful on not rubbing off the paint as you're working. And just kind of be gentle as you place them down before you put a second coat. And I did come back after I finished them all. I did go back and outline them again with the chalk paint, the ink chalk paint, his body parts, and then of course apply the sealer. And in some areas I did fill in the with black in between the bones, and especially in the leg bone, so you could see the bones much clearer, so they could be more clearly defined. The detail on the wings of the ceramic angel is very nice, and I followed the detail of the ceramic with the paintbrush with black. So I just really like this about this ceramic angel. Every now and then you need to clean off your paintbrush. It's just your paintbrush gets kind of filled excess paint and just gets gloppy. So, for lack of a better word, so just clean it off every now and then. Now I'm putting more detail on the back of the wings. Just following the grooves in the ceramic. The detail already is part of the ceramic, so made it easier to outline. And now we're ready to start on the face. Yay! This is a fun part. No, all of it's fun. So his nose, I'm going to make it in the shape of like a little triangle. And next is his eyes. Just make it like a round, like almost like a black eye around his eyes. And just go around. I had to fix it a couple of times. It didn't seem to have like an even roundness to his eyes, but that's okay. You can, this is very forgiving. You can make mistakes. You could just use your finger, unless if it's not dry, just wipe it off with a little alcohol or sanitizer. Just scrape it off with your nail. In the lips, just making them black, and like a little teardrop on his chin. I saw that picture of that in Pinterest. Somebody had painted painted their face in Dia de Muertos, and that's where I got a lot of my ideas, is just seeing people's makeup, how they did their makeup. Is I just picked up little pieces of their design into this little cherub. Yeah, if you're looking for inspiration on what kind of designs to make on your cherub, just go to Pinterest and just search for Dia de Muertos or Day of the Dead. And there's so many people who have makeup on for this day, and it's pretty cool on the different designs and different colors, and you're bound to find something that you like to put on your little angel there. And so there is a little flower. It's a black flower. Later on, I'm going to put a little dot of orange or yellow in the center. But I like that. And some of the swirls I just came up with. I love to draw swirls. I love to doodle. So, and I have a book, a little art book where I just doodle all the in my spare time. Not all the time, but in my spare time. These little swirls. Now I'm going to paint his hair black. So inside the top of his head is his hair. So it's going to be black hair. And since I'm doing his hair, it needs wider coverage. I'm using a small brush, but with a little wider bristles, probably like a quarter of an inch or eighth of an inch wide. I'm trying to decide whether to use moss or elephant for the leaves of the wreath. I went with moss. I painted the flowers with orange acrylic to make them look like marigolds. Marigolds are used in the Day of the Dead celebrations because of their strong scent and bright color, which is said to help guide the spirits of the dead back to the families. Also, to have more orange in the cherub, I decided to put orange wavy hair. just that more pop of that orange color just made it more brighter and prettier to me. I purchased these molds from Amazon. I'll put the link in the description, but that's perfect size just about for my little cherub. And on this one I'm using the for the leaves, since the pink one only had for the roses. And I made several because I'm working on a couple cherubs, angels that I'll need it for. And now I'm going to paint my flowers orange to use my little cherub. Also, I just made these molds, so I'm painting them, trying to paint them right away because I'm going to have to need them bendable. So I'm trying to, they did stiffen up a little bit, but I still was able to bend them a little bit when I glued them to my little cherub. Now I'm going to glue my flowers, my little orange flowers, to his praying hands. I'm using E6000 glue and applying the leaves first. And also I painted the leaves the moss chalk paint, and they're still nice and bendable. So applying them first to his hands, and then I'm going to glue the orange. I'm going to glue these two that are shown, and then a little smaller, the tiniest one, to his hands. I did go back and paint the flowers a little bit more with the orange and the green for any spots that I missed from the initial painting. And you could do that. And also I went just outlined also the entire angel where any other color may have rubbed off with my fingers or just didn't look like it had good coverage. Now I'm going to apply a crystal clear spray to these angels. I sprayed 3 coats and let them dry a couple of hours in between. And you can take a sneak peek at my other 2 I created. And here's my finished cherub for Dia de los Muertos. I will have this cherub and the 2 others listed on my eBay store